Ithaqua we're keeping 2-2 because Malassa is a huge pain for us. We will fix her skills though. And we will unequip these ice trolls who have served their purpose well. Alright, so Flame Shrine, it's the last day. Randomized hasn't attacked yet today, I know that, so we probably aren't going to pass him, but hopefully we can do a little bit better. Day 1 we got 134 billion, day 2 we got 171 billion. The problem with this team is the 10-star Delaciums are very squishy. So we have built them for survivability, but at 10-star, without having any of the enables or extra HP, they can die before they're able to replicate the attack debuff. So it is a lot of RNG against Malassa, especially only running 2 Delaciums. And Drake was dying sometimes. We're going to keep him at a 2-2 split with HP and speed enables. Heartwatcher needs her Demon Bell. She's sticking with a 2-2 split. 2 Delaciums, and the Ithaqua we fixed. That should be... Let's check one more time. Easily distracted tonight. Ithaqua's good. Glittery Antlers. Heartwatcher's good. Drake's good with that Glittery Demon Bell. I am enjoying this. I did waste my artifact chest on a Demon Bell just to do this. In hindsight, I should have gotten a crown. I don't have any crowns, but the Glittery Demon Bell has been nice in PvE for that potential extra energy on the Ithaqua. Heartwatcher is really good, Andre. You don't really need to push her past 10-star, especially early game. The only reason you would go to E3 or even E4 is for late game stuff. So mine is E3, so she gets Purify and a little more speed. But a 10-star Heartwatcher is a huge, huge upgrade for your PvE teams like Flame Shrine and Broken Spaces. Alright, I think we're good. So let's jump into some live Flame Shrine. I know I said I'd do it at 25 followers, but let's have some fun. So we are going to run the Deathsworn. The E2 Sigmund still gets smoked for the most part. Yeah, Heartwatcher is a necessary PvE too. You really can't get by without her at this point. She's not worth spending like relics or orbs or things like that on, but you are going to need her at one point in the game. At least 9-star, if not 10-star. Alright, we actually haven't tried the Sigmund against this team. There's no huge benefit though, since Malassa is hitting the AoEs. Deathsworn dying does save those Phoenix buffs. And yeah, even yesterday's video, we had our Heartwatcher die, but thankfully it was later enough in the round. So hopefully we can get the attack debuffs out and the replicates, because you'll see she hits like a truck early rounds, which is where the 10-star Delacium budget team does have some failures. Oh, alright, so Ithaqua heals herself up. That's good. Looking good. We're fine with Deathsworn dying. We got Phoenix buffs exactly where we want them, so this is looking good so far. 2 of them still need some debuffs on them, though. Alright, looking good. Oh, Ithaqua did not crit. That is unfortunate. That is a downside of running the 2-2 split on her. But, I mean, you saw how low her hit points got. She would have died without that split. So hopefully we'll get a Phoenix active with a crit. 670 million is fairly low for her at this point. She should be hitting around 1 billion, but the Glittery Antlers aren't ramping up as fast with her missing those crits. Hopefully she gets this around 11 Phoenix buff. She does. That's good. So yeah, Drake doesn't necessarily need the 2-2 split. Actually, before I get chatty, let's watch the round 14 dots. It's usually, watching your round 14 dots is usually a good way to know how you're doing damage-wise. That's how I've been doing it. So that looks like 3.6 billion. I apologize for the lag. So we're probably looking at around 40 billion damage for the run. Yeah, You get fairly used to what your dots look like and what your total damage will be. So yeah, 43 billion. Four of those would be halfway between our day one and our day two total. So if Aqua put out 17 billion, that's good. The Delaciums only put out about 13 or 12 billion each. That's low. That means they are replicating the armor debuffs, the attack debuffs. 3 times more damage from. Oh yeah, the attack debuff. Yep. Um, yeah. So even with the split, the Drake is only doing 262 million. Yeah, you sort of get used to it, Crazed, if you run this team enough, what your total damage will be based on A, how long you live, and B, whether or not you, or what your round 14 dots are. At least that's how I've been doing it. Um, yeah, so when you see some dots in the 8 billion range, you know that things are going great. Alright, so 43 billion, that's good. We'll run the same team again. Um, I will show what a Sigmund looks like since we are going to get second place regardless. I will show the difference with that E2 Sigmund and show why he isn't really a huge upgrade over the Deathsworn, especially if he dies. Uh, GDP thinks that the optimal team will have an E5 Sigmund in it, at least before Rogan. I don't know about that. An E5 Sigmund can put out about 1.5 billion damage on his own, but his dots are potentially replicated, which is not as good as Ithaqa's dots being replicated. And he's also not useful for armor break now that we have Drake. Yeah, so as you see, Ithaqua barely survives, but I don't want to run Unbending on her, so that 2-2 split is huge. I'm worried about our Heart Watcher, though. We do have all the debuffs out, though. That's good. Andre, right now I only do live on Tuesdays scheduled. I have volleyball on Thursdays. I'm usually gone on Mondays. I don't want to waste people's Fridays. And I actually play competitive City of Heroes for those of you who are into 15-year-old RPGs on pirate servers. So for now, Tuesday's the only scheduled day. I have done a few non-scheduled live streams in the middle of the day, but for now, Tuesday will be the only scheduled day. Which I know sort of bumps up against Barry's Tune-Up Tuesdays, but we've been jumping in to watch his streams every once in a while. Yeah, 300% is going to be 4x total damage. Alright, let's see our 14 dots. I haven't been watching this much. We will get maybe a Phoenix active in... Yeah, we will get a Phoenix active in 15. So hopefully... I think that was 5.6 billion. So if that's true, we're looking at 60 billion maybe if we're lucky. And it's not perfect. Holy cow. That is by far our best Malassa hit. That is 91.3 billion damage. That's just short of our day one total. Let's look at that. Holy cow. That second Delacium put in the work. 40 billion from one Delacium. 29.7 from the other. And yeah, 20.5 billion is about a good Ithaqua run with my current team. I haven't really gotten her past 22 billion for the most part. Even if she catches every Phoenix buff, crits every time, things like that. Yeah, so this Ithaqua was replicating the heck out of those Ithaqua dots. Yeah, and if you're watching this team and you don't understand the Delacium armies, GDP's put out some content, but mostly it's telling you who to build and when. I'm hoping to release a video fairly soon that goes over what the heck this team is, why it synergizes, and why it works so well. I've only just started that though, but yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll cover sort of why this team works the way it does. Yeah, that damage is awesome. I still think we have no shot at... Oh, wow. That's... Yeah. We might be able to beat Randomized's total if he doesn't attack today. Unfortunately, he's averaging about 230 billion a day. I don't know what team he's running anymore. He's definitely one of the larger whales on this server. Before we do two more, let's just take a quick look at Randomized. No, he's not here. We'll look at that later, especially if I want to post this. Let's do these last two Malassa hits. But yeah, Randomized is... he started watching my videos, and I'm pretty sure he built up a less budget version of my team. Or he's running his double Russell in... I do, Andre. I don't have 100 subscribers yet, so I cannot get a custom URL. but I will post a link in chat for the actual channel. I should set up a Twitch bot to do stuff like that, but let me grab it. That is where I do most of my content for now, especially considering that I'm only streaming once a day guaranteed. What's up, guys? It's Doyler, and today, yeah, you can hear me in the background. Yeah, so there's the YouTube. That's where most of my content is. My goal is release a video every day, which I'm still on track to do. Some Flame Shrine, haven't done Broken Spaces yet since I started before the reset, so I will do a Broken Spaces video. It's going to be a Delacium Army video. The Garuda team I currently run could clear it in probably 30 tickets. But yeah, people seem to be more interested in this team, especially because it is going to be a lower budget team than the Garuda team probably. I mean, that one's going to have probably full E5s, while my Delaciums are only 10 star. So yeah, everyone's living. I don't know if we're just getting better RNG than I got yesterday or what. I was running 2-2 splits on the Delaciums and the Athakwas, but things were going a bit rougher. So let's check those dots. But I think we're still too laggy to see them. 4.2, so we'll be less than the 90 and more than the 40. 50 to 60 though, unless we got crazy lucky. Yeah, 58 billion. So yeah, that Athakwa damage is low. I wasn't watching, but she was definitely missing out on some of those Phoenix buffs, that means. So for those of you that don't have a Phoenix or haven't read its skills, its active ability will hit 4 of your heroes and give them a buff against burn targets as well as other stuff. So once your Deathsworn dies, you do still have 5 targets. So it is possible for the Phoenix to hit Drake, Delacium, and Heartwatcher. And as you can see, I mean, these are going to be lower damage heroes. The Delacium damage looks crazy high. That's not actually their attacking per se. It's going to be them replicating the DOT damage from Athakwa. And I will cover that for those of you who don't quite get this team. So yeah, 58 billion. That's a good third hit. We are in first briefly. That is nice. Should be able to get 500 billion, which is awesome. I think my current record is 464 billion against the Faith Blade, which is arguably an easier hero. So this may actually be the highest 3-day total against the Flame Shrine boss, even though we had some rougher starts. And I do believe actually that 90 billion run is my highest single attack against any of them. I will have to check, but yeah, that's awesome. Some good luck from the stream tonight. I'm glad I didn't wait for 25 followers. We're getting some new high scores, and yeah, I do think I'm gonna start pushing these Delaciums to at least E3, get Purify on them and a bit more hit points. I thought I missed that. I don't think a third Delacium is gonna help as consistently as getting them to E3 or E5. I do think for a budget team, 3 9-star Delaciums is going to be better, but since I have the E3 Drake, since I have the E3 and maybe E4 Heartwatcher, and since I may get a Rogan or something like that out of this event, I don't think a third Delacium will help me as much. If you're just building one now, I would recommend 3 9-star Delaciums and then upgrade them evenly. Alright, so we'll get around 11 Phoenix and active. Just under 1 billion, so nothing great yet. We'll have to see how the later rounds go. Alright, round 4 and T, where are we at? Is that 6 billion? It's so laggy when it's calculating those dots. It's sometimes hard to see, even though I closed everything else. Wow, 65 billion. I think I've been really torn about Rogan. At first, I thought he would be absolutely necessary for PvP and PvE due to his speed manipulation. We've been in the speed meta for honestly like a year now. Even before it was speed carry, speed was still the most important thing. Then I thought he would be a niche hero, but I think he's a great buffer, and I do think even in PvE he has a great use. I think if I replace my Deathsworn or Siggy on this team with a E5 Rogan, that it would see higher damage. I think he's going to be somewhere A tier, S tier for PvP, and somewhere A tier for PvE. I don't think he's necessary, but yeah, if you do have the scrolls to push for him, he may be worth it. especially depending on your current team. So 65 billion, that's awesome. So yeah, 3-day total of 563 billion damage. I will take it. That's awesome. And I don't know how this will look once I upload it because my recordings will now have all of the stream stuff. So we'll see. If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize, but we did it live and it was awesome.